See, I represent a generation that was supposed to be the product of promise. You know, by that package that was signed, sealed, and delivered by those who had marched on Washington, but now we sign language hate you with twisted fingers. I pledge allegiance to street names and ziplocked my mind in an area code, and I got partners that'll still die for the color of their clothes. So my aspiration for my children to make it becomes defined by a school's own radius, because before my son could play that drum line, I gotta tell him about the gun line. Street language is not deciphered through algebra equations, so the lingo is 5-0 equals 5 police minus 0 witnesses. And if you want that same result, well, just multiply by 1 time. Economics is now your common denominator for the county line. But how can men and women properly provide when the order of operation says that after you come together to multiply, you have to divide? And now our X and Y chromosomes become confined by parentheses, which is just saying segregated poverty. So yes, my son, X out your unknown and why every question, because the syllabus tells us the sum total has already been given. You just got to figure out how to get it. So son, let's get it, because these schools are only concerned about statistics. That's standardized tests. But I find that funny because I thought it was my children's standards I tests. See what they told my daughter, baby girl, you either gonna just stand or rise best. But then again, to my son, you better watch your friends. Some of them will snap that clip in, turn around and rob you, because they go by a stand or die test. And don't get too comfortable eating in the lunchroom. They slipping laxatives in your Reader's Digest, so you can die just a little quicker. It's as if driver's ed was being taught by an old blind man drinking liquor. And physical education, well, that's a pedophile holding a child with a gun to his own head, but the child's fingers on the trigger. In other words, safety and morality is only a concern when it's broadcasted over the television screen as an on-campus school ground casualty. And then you wonder why some of our kids don't get saved. It's because we march in a day late, protesting a current event short of a passing grade. Well, here's your final exam, so sharpen your number 2, not your lead field number 2, but the 2 hemispheres of the brain. And there's only one question I got that's written on that page. If you think you got the answer, get ready to write it down. If a child screams in the midst of all this madness like that tree that falls in that forest when nobody's around, does the child even make a sound? Time's up, pencils, drop it. The only reason why some of y'all were protesting, it was America's hottest topic. You're no more than a media scientific hypothesis to see how many of us they can get marching down the street holding up cardboard boxes. And I'm sorry to tell you, man, but your picket line reminds me of the lunch line from back in the days, because the only thing we getting is some ice cream and some extra milk with your revolutionary chump change. Get it right or pay the price. Our children need a better way. And if you don't believe me, then step back to watch the Glock pop that make the student body drop from the 9th grade to the 12th grade. So you got to understand, it's simple, basic genocide mathematics, my friend. Build them up like the Sphinx to deface and subtract them in the end. 1 by 1, then divide the county line to carry over the remaining common factor. 2 by 2, then historically break down mental compound. 3 by 3, then turn them into algebra equations, working the outside to figure out the inside. 4 by 4, we are variables upon timetables, label society's unbalanced equation to be solved. 5 by 5, then through geometry, map out geography of ghetto sociology. Obviously, 6 by 6, then calculate and equate how many decimals it takes to remove the 15-year-old black male off the earth's face. 7 by 7, then take the square root of a prison cell. Divide that by the circumference of a black male, and you can figure out how many you can fit inside that living hell. 8 by 8, 9 by 9, 10 by 10. It's simple, basic genocide mathematics, my friend.